Did you know that one of the main reasons that people actually struggle in today's world getting their dreams achieved, or even just starting the process of getting to their dreams, is literally because they lack trust within themselves? Which actually in turn has a side effect of you making decisions. Did you know that? Well, if not, let's get into it.
On the road to the riches, on the road to the dollars, on the road as a scholar.
Peace and blessings, y'all. What's going on? It is yours, the one and only, yours truly, KiMu JTD, and you have now tapped into another episode. On this channel, I give you my personal experience. So no, I'm not giving you anything that I've read in a book specifically, but I am giving you my personal experience, what has helped me along my journey, the tools and techniques that have helped me achieve my dreams, and I'm here to do the same for you, just by giving you the basics, the bare basics, so that way you may do the same for yourself. So if that's something that you want to continue to hear every single time I drop a video, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Alright, so let's get into it. In today's world, we're living in a whole lot of uncertainty. I mean, markets are crashing. We're talking about real estate. We're talking about the economy. Everything is crashing right now. Everything looks like it's in a complete tornado, and people are waiting for things to fall. And I know how that actually ends up turning into the actual people who are living on this planet. I mean, it creates a whole bunch of fear and doubt, and therefore in turn deters our ability to actually trust ourselves. I mean, how can we trust ourselves if we can't even trust the people who we would think has our back? I understand, I get it, and that's why I'm here, because I have created the mental attitude so that way all of this stuff that's going on out there does not shake me up. But I want to start it off with a personal story from me that actually happened a few years ago. I was learning binary options trading. If you don't know what that is, it's just a different style of trading. I was actually teaching binary options trade. I was actually like having people get on the call, and they were taking my trades. This personal story, like real life, happened, and I'll never forget how it started, because I was taking trades, and I was making money on my trades. I mean, I remember how it started. It was Father's Day weekend. I was in, where was I? I was kicking it with my homie when he was living in Nashville, and I was on the phone, and I was just taking trades, and I just so happened to be on the phone with somebody who was part of the same community that I was in, that we were in, and she put me on the spot. Like I was put on the spot. Like, oh, KiMu, go ahead, give me a trade. I'm like, dang, like this what we doing? Like, I know I'm trading, but actually I wasn't even trading. I was actually looking at the charts. I was, studying. And they was like, yeah, KiMu, go ahead, take a trade. I'm like, nah, KiMu, come on here. We see what you be doing, so go ahead, take that trade. I'm like, all right, cool. So I called out a trade. We're in the trade for about, like maybe, I think it was a minute. And they were like, okay, KiMu, like they were pumping me up, and we took 3 trades, won them all, and that was literally a matter of, like, we did that all in a matter of 10 minutes. And that's not me really just boasting, but it's really to give you the fact that I've been there. I've been in that space. Like I said when I started it, I wasn't really trying to be in charge of how people make or lose money. That's a lot of trust that you're putting in somebody. But I lacked the trust within myself. That's the point that I'm making. I lack the trust within myself. And for me personally, this is how I just operate, is I literally, if I feel like there's a bit of anxiety that's coming up from the pressure, I just move into action. Like that's how I operate. Okay, KiMu, come on, call the train. Nah, I ain't really trying to do that. Nah, come on, KiMu. Like we see what you're doing. Other people trusted me. Apparently other people trusted me. Therefore, I just went into it and we had the results that we had. It was a beautiful, remarkable experience, and we did that for a while. Now we want to get into what it is that really is going on in our brain when we start to get into that area of trusting ourselves. Like, what is it? And really, trusting yourself is really correlated with your ability to make decisions. So if you're a poor decision maker, if you feel like you're a poor decision maker, it's most likely correlated to the level of trust that you have in yourself. And really, the level of trust that you have in yourself, it probably left you before you even conscious of the fact that you didn't even have it. Like, that's why you're here, because now you are aware of the fact that, yo, I don't trust myself. Like, if I do this, I don't know if I'm going to be able to bounce back. If I do this in this economy, like if I make this investment in this economy, I don't know if I'm going to be able to bounce back. And literally, that's why we're here, because I'm going to give you the tools and the techniques that I've used that help me continue to go after my goals, even during those shaky times in my life. So really, I just continued to boost the level of trust that I had in myself by just making decisions. I didn't have a choice. Like, one of the things, I have a family, and I had to make decisions. Yes, I consult with other people for advice, but at the end of the day, I'm the one making the decisions. Like, there was a point in my life where I wasn't making decisions, and that was because I felt like I had failed after time after time after time. And that's what ends up happening with us, is we feel like we're just failing, and we just can't bounce back. But the thing is, most people were never put in positions to actually build that trust in themselves. The trust was external. Like, for example, if you learn how to drive, you were entrusted to drive, and then it became something that you just continued to do. Whoever taught you how to drive, they trusted that you were going to figure out how to drive, and that you were going to become at least a decent driver by law. So really, that's where it really all starts. So let's go ahead and let's get into these tips and solutions that are really going to help you boost, and if not boost, just start trusting yourself, because that's where we need to start. As I said in a previous video, everything is going to start with you. So that's why you're here. You realize somewhere in your level of consciousness that everything is going to start with you. And in order for you to move forward, you have to start trusting in yourself. There was also another thing that I said in that same video, which is going to be up here, linked up there, that the principle is as above, so below, as within, so without. And what that literally means is that in order for you to really trust anybody else, and this goes for all relationships, platonic, intimate, friends, acquaintances, whatever, co-workers, in order for you to actually trust somebody else wholeheartedly, you have to have the same amount of trust within yourself. If you ask me think about it. If you ask me for $1 and I don't have $1, how can I give you $1? Well, I only really have two options when you ask me for $1. I can either say, no, I don't have $1, or I can go take a loan from somebody else so I can give you that $1, but now I owe somebody else. But at the end, from the jump, I did not have that energy, that $1 to actually give to you. So we got to develop that trust within ourselves in order to trust other people. And especially it's going to come into play when it comes into our relationships. That's why we're here, because that's the thing. Life is relationships. in order for you to get to that next level, you have to develop those relationships. So let's get into these tips and these tricks that we're going to get into so we can build that trust within yourself. And the first one that we're going to get into is just embrace the fact that you are going to make mistakes. It's part of being human. Like, I know from the time you were a baby, everything was about being perfect. You know, you saw your parents or your guardian, they was moving around, they was walking, they was moving and grooving, they was kicking it, and you sitting there like, I'm trying to move as fast as you are. But you're sitting there crawling, and you can't crawl as fast as they walk. And then as you started to grow, you started to get quicker, but you're still trying to play catch up. You're trying to perfect what it is that where you're going, but you haven't understood the fact that you're going to make mistakes. You had to trip before you actually really learn how to walk. You had to fall before you actually really learn how to walk. You had to make those small mistakes in math class in order for you to actually start doing at least decent in math. There had to be some losses in order for you to get those wins. Wins are just the after effect of the accumulation of losses that you have taken. Let me say that one more time, because that's really important for you to grasp and retain. Your wins are nothing but the result of the accumulation of losses that you have taken along the journey. I'm gonna let y'all sit on that one because that was pretty deep. We're gonna go into number two. Number two, we gotta tap into that self-talk. In another video, I talked about our self-talk. Being your own cheerleader is going to be very important. I remember when there was a time when I was in college, and there was this one class specifically, and I was not doing well. Like, I'm talking about when I'm getting exams, I'm getting like 30s and 40s as an engineer. Not acceptable, especially by my standard. And I was really actually doing my best, but I just couldn't grasp the material and the timelines that I was given. And on the way to these exams and these tests, I would literally just go in before the test from my dorm or wherever I was coming from all the way to my test or exam. I would just give myself a pep talk. And I would just the same way you do at a pep rally, you give all that energy to the football or the basketball, baseball, whatever team. I was giving myself that same energy, listening to music and just being in the zone of giving myself that pep talk, so that way I can walk into that test with some level of confidence, some level of trust that I was going to know something about the topic that I was being tested on. We had like that's going to be a thing. Your self-talk, please go watch that video. It's really impactful. It's something that has literally changed my life. But it's something that, like, being our own cheerleader, it sucks when you are by yourself and you can't call nobody, you can't reach out to anybody, and you're literally in the dark by yourself. That's why your self-talk is so important, because in those dark moments, that's when you're going to actually realize how bright you actually shine. So get that self-talk together. Embrace mistakes and be your own cheerleader. Number 3, start small. Start small. And the reason why we start small and we just do it, the reason why we start small and we go after is because we baby steps, just like we talked about. Baby steps. Putting one foot in front of the other. One thing that I really started to learn is that it's not about being 5% better, being 10% better, being 100% better. Because we're going to go forward and we're probably going to come back a whole lot more than we went forward. You're going to go forward 3%, 5%, 10%, and all of a sudden you're having double the pullback. And that's demoralizing. It makes you feel like, what am I doing? What I'm doing is not working. I developed something in my mind where I'm just like, just 1% better every day. That's all I really need. Because if I'm 1% better every day, it's least likely that I'm going to have a pullback in life, that I'm going to have a recoil, that something is going to happen and I'm not going to be able to get back. I'm innately going to want to go find and do something, find a different strategy just because it doesn't work. And now I have decreased the level of trust that I had in myself because I made a decision and I feel like I failed. Once again, the amount of losses that you accumulate are going to equal out to the wins, but you got to keep that same strategy. So start small. Like when I start, like one thing, when I really wanted to get into working out, I started small. I wasn't saying, yo, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna work out 5 days a week. I'm going to work out 7 days a week from the jump. No, I set the goal of working out 5 days a week, and I just started that day. Because just getting started is the hardest part. Execution is the hardest part. Like even in science, if you took chemistry, especially, if you remember this term, activation energy, that stuff is real in real life. Like activating yourself to actually go for a goal is the hardest part of the process. The reason why is because it takes the most energy. We're on a molecular level, it takes a lot of energy to get those molecules started moving. We're just like molecules. In order to get us going, we have to actually tap into the mental and get the mental to tell the body to actually get moving. The body's not just going to move if the mental wasn't ready for it to say, hey, move. Your mind has to be already geared to just jump into action when it's time. I think I might have to say it again. Your mind, you're in charge of your mind. Your body does its thing. Your mind doesn't necessarily tell your body what to do. Your mind kind of operates on, like, you're on a cellular level. Your body does its thing. Digestion, breathing, all of that stuff. Your mind doesn't control that. Your body does. But in order to get into action, we got to conquer that mental part. We got to be able to have our mind tell our body to, yeah, let's get it. Execute. All right, we understand what's going on. Even if we don't understand what's going on, execute. Okay, you want to start working out 5 days a week? Work out right now. Okay, you can't work out right now? Work out today. Work out when you get home. It's massively important. We got to get our minds geared so that way we can just jump into action when it's time to jump into action. Self-talk. I'm telling you, yo, self-talk is that thing. Self-talk is that thing because that self-talk is what's going to actually get your body in motion. Repeated self-talk is going to accumulate, it's going to compound, and it's going to always get your body in motion. And let's get on to the number four, last but not least, that last tip, that last solution that is going to help you build that trust within yourself. And that is actually just being gentle. Being gentle with yourself is massively important. The world's already hard on you. People are already hard on you. You got a job, it's already hard on you. You're an entrepreneur, it's already hard on you because it's like, dang, I got to make sure I eat at the end of the month. I know. You self-employed, it's like, yo, I need to get out here and make sure that I can eat, like my family can eat at the end of the day, at the end of the month. Job, you got to meet them deadlines. Life is, everything outside of you is already hard. So why be even hard on yourself? I was in that space. I used to be in that space. I used to be hard on myself. I used to be like, yo, I got to get out here like right now. I got to be rigid with my schedule. 4 o'clock, we need to get out there and we need to go drive Uber and we need to go make this money. And if Uber ain't working, we need to do Amazon Flex. We need to go do Lyft. We need to do something else. And if you can't come back into the house until you hit that goal. And that is the talk that I was programmed to have when I was a kid. But I chose to acknowledge that programming and realize that that type of programming was actually setting me back. That type of programming was actually decreasing my ability to move forward in life because I'm being hard on myself. Be gentle with yourself. It's okay. You don't have to push yourself too hard. just a gentle nudge. And if you don't necessarily hit that goal 100%, guess what? You got tomorrow. But the thing is, it really helps when you're being gentle with yourself. Just giving you a gentle nudge. That's when the adult and the child within yourself are actually coming together, because you're teaching the child how to move forward. The child is already hard on themselves because of the external adults, the external people who is telling the child what to do. We got to be the adult and nurture ourselves. At this point, it's our job to nurture the child within inside of us, because that child is going to be the one that manifests everything that we want. The adult is the one that creates the structure. But we have to have a healthy adult in order to have a healthy child. All right? So, hey, there was our 4 tips. Our 1 tip is embrace mistakes. Tip number 2 is get your self-talk. Be your best cheerleader. Tip number 3 is start small and just get it done. Execute. Activate yourself so you can move forward. And tip number 4 is be gentle with yourself. All of those massively important. They all coexist. They all go along with each other, and they all going to have a good old dance as you're progressing and getting 1% better every single day. So, thank you so much for tuning in today. Getting it in today with yours truly, the one and only KiMu JTD, on another episode here. Hey, let me know what y'all think. Hit that like button. Hit that. Please comment. Please do me that favor of commenting, so I know like how y'all feeling about the video, how y'all feel about the content. If there's something you want me to go deeper into, if there's something you want me to talk more about, let me know. I would love to help you even better. You helping me helps me help you. That's what I tell my children. I can't help you if you're not helping me. So thank you once again for tuning in. If you like today's content about building that trust within yourself, and like I said, we're going to talk, once again, that stuff correlates with your ability to make decisions, which I'm going to talk about in another episode. Hey, do yourself a favor and hit that subscribe button so you get notified when that video comes out. All right? So, thank you once again. I'm over and out, and we're going to get into it the next episode. Peace.